I hide myself or not?
No, these are the Mujahideen. Show your face.
An unusual encounter in an unusual setting, in the heartland of Afghanistan. We've just arrived in the province of Wardak near Kabul. These men are all rebels. We are in Taliban territory. For our security and theirs, we've had to blur their faces.
Can you carry this one?
I cannot carry.
What did she say?
Is it heavy? Is it heavy? Can you ask him?
It's 30 kgs.
And how long does it shoot?
Around 5 kilometers. It's an anti-tank weapon. It destroys ground troops. It burns everything and makes a lot of light. We've had these weapons for a long time. We already had them during the jihad, and we're still using them. If we put it on our shoulder to shoot at a tank, you can aim without a problem to around 600 meters. But if we aim at soldiers or checkpoints, we can hit them even if they're 1 or 2 kilometers away. And the rule with this weapon is once you shoot, you have to move to another location before you shoot again, okay?
Okay.
When the commander speaks of his men, he says they're all fidayin. That means those who are ready to die in combat.
Hey, come over here, on this side. All these fidayin are heading out to fight the holy war. Americans run away when they see them.
Tell her that these men, if you ask them, are ready to be suicide bombers. They're ready to die. They'll put on a belt and blow themselves up if we ask them. They're ready for any type of combat.
Hey, put yourselves in order. She's filming you.
These men are comfortable in front of the camera and are willing to play the game. But the trust was hard-earned. These fighters know us. We'd already met them last year.
Hurry up, get in the car.
Be careful, don't have the rockets go off.
Is it easy to travel like this? Everyone has gun, no problem with the government here?
Here, we are at home. The Taliban have the power here, not Karzai's government. The entire district is Taliban, except for a few stores in the center.
Listen, when she's in the car, she'll be at the head of the convoy, and she'll be able to film. She can also get in the back to film.
It'll be like we're filming a wedding procession in Kabul.
We hit the road. The vehicles are visible from afar. But we won't cross any police or Afghan soldiers. The men are calm, and our guide tells us why.
The population here supports the Taliban, because the Taliban don't steal from them. They're not cruel with them. The area is stable, and they can stand up for their rights. In terms of land ownership, for instance. They don't go through the government to seek justice. They go directly to the Taliban.
And the rebels aren't the only ones who give us this explanation. Slowly but surely, the government is losing the support of the population. There's too much poverty, too much crime and corruption. And that's why the Taliban are regaining power.
Tell him to turn the rocket launcher around. Go ahead, tell them to go.
When we head out on an operation, we always prepare it ahead of time. And I'm happy to see our mujahideen like that. It reminds me of the good old times. I'm proud of them.
We had to wait several months before coming here. Abu Tayyab knows us, but he needed his superior's authorization. It came in directly from the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, the Taliban leadership. It's now time for training. The men are given an exercise to do, making sure their weapons are in good working condition. But what they really want is to show us how powerful they are.
We're going to aim at that hill, the second one there.
Shoot there.
And why not between these two rocks?
Don't fix yourself a target, just shoot wherever you want.
Okay.
Not too much loud, not too much loud.
Hey, did you see that power? Your ears are ringing, aren't they?
After a 20-minute demonstration, it's time to leave. We break up into small groups to avoid being spotted.
Bring your men back to their base.
Even though foreign troops don't patrol these valleys much, we're only 100 kilometers away from the closest American base, and drones regularly fly over this zone. Here, there are no French troops, but Abu Tayyab has men in the nearby provinces of Logar and Kabul. To them, the French forces are enemies. We go back to the base. We're not allowed to film around it because no one must be able to recognize the area.
I have something to say to the French soldiers. If they listen to the government and keep being American puppets, we will increase our attacks on them. Like the Sarobi attack, and even more violent than that. They must change their position. This year and next year, we will do our best to enter Kabul and target the Americans and their allies. From now on, we are going to move the combat zones from remote areas to the cities.
Since our meeting last year, the commander's position is more hardline. Sending more French troops to Afghanistan and posting them around Kabul seems to have hardened his position. The men let me film while they're cleaning their weapons. It's a routine they can't avoid since they go out on combat operations several times a week.
Why didn't you bring your weapons? Aren't you gonna fight? Go find your weapons and cartridge clips immediately.
I'm missing some clips.
Go see if someone else has any. Maybe the neighbors. You return them when you get back.
After 30 years of war, it's not hard to find weapons in Afghanistan.
Are your clips empty? Are they in the car? Is only one of them empty?
No, both of them, and mine is half empty too.
Here's one. Clean it up or the weapons are going to jam during combat.
We're not going to give them any time for bravery. They'll see when we get there. We're going to humiliate them. I'd like for 1,000 American soldiers to come to the province. Yes. We'll see who's brave then.
The men are quite obviously preparing a new operation. They remain very discreet on the area they're planning to attack. Neither will they tell us who they're planning to fight with. They're much more eager to tell us why they don't seem one bit worried or fearful.
This combat is going to be easier than in the past. Here we're going to fight for half an hour to an hour and then split up. Before, the combat was harder because we had to hold down the area after taking it over.
But airstrike, it's not a big problem?
No, because they can't hit as hard as they say they can.
When?
Because they don't have the capacity.